All right, this is our next episode of True Wrestling Fan Discussions, continuing our pay-per-view retro review series. This is going to be WWF Over the Edge 1998 in your house. I'm your host,
Yes.
Mike.
I'm Frank. Let's get into this. Now, compared to the last in your house, they were way down on this one, where you had 21,000 on hand for Unforgiven in Greensboro, North Carolina. In Milwaukee, Wisconsin, you only had 9,822 on hand.
Probably
Smaller arena.
Small arena.
The buy rate was also 97,000 less, only 203,000 on this one.
Yeah, I mean,
as compared to the last. Maybe mainly, I'm guessing maybe because people already saw Austin and Dude Love.
we saw
Maybe
Austin,
they didn't want to see it again.
And it's already a couple months after WrestleMania, so kind of the hype is kind of like fading a little bit. But
yeah, to some people. For me, I couldn't wait to see what was going to happen on this one. So May 31st, 1998. Here we go. JR and Lawler as usual. So our opening match of the night was LOD 2000 versus DOA. Change was at ringside for DOA. Skull and Eight Ball Draws came down for LOD, and I did not like when he started interfering in it, and then he winds up becoming part of the Legion of Doom.
This was
Hawk gets booted out, and it's him and Animal.
This is flashbacks to Crush and Demolition.
Yes, only worse.
And we know how that ended. So
crap fest.
Yeah,
because Vince
this was a crap fest, and this was a crap fest too. So
for the Legion of Doom in 1998, absolutely.
Yeah, so,
and I mean, this match, Droz gets involved. He hits one of the members of DOA. We don't know who it is because Skull and Eight Ball. I mean, it's hard to decipher of the two.
It was actually some LOD. There was some LOD chants too in the beginning, but that faded out. Yeah.
Because as the match progressed, people weren't really into it because this is one of those feuds that went on way too long through 1998. Because this is pretty much all that they would give the Legion of Doom.
Yeah.
Is DOA. And once Chains leaves and you're down to Skull and Eight Ball, I mean, and then they bring Paul Ellering into it eventually.
It's ironic because LOD was DOA, you know? They were dead on arrival as soon as LOD, so they changed the names. Anyway.
Yep. Should have gotten rid of that 2000, but Sunny was still there, so that was a good thing.
Yeah, but she's not gonna be around much longer with.
Nope, she's not, unfortunately. Animal gets the power slam after Draws interferes on one of the members of DOA, and the Legion of Doom 2000 actually get the victory here.
Well, that's nice,
but that's not going to go anywhere. So moving on from that debacle, The Rock came out to the ring unannounced. That was they weren't expecting that. You know, he's giving his own little interview. Farouk comes down and attacks him because later on they're going to have their match.
Right.
Rock actually hits himself with the chair, and I love it. He was the only guy that could pull this off. When he goes to hit you with it, bounces off the rope and hits himself. That was awesome.
And he's injured.
Yeah, because Farouk Paul drives him onto the chair. You know, that whole storyline nonsense. The rest of the nation comes out. Owen's out there putting a neck brace on The Rock.
Now he's in the nation.
He's in the nation, and I'm looking and I'm like,
what is he doing here?
What are you doing here? This is just them pissing on Owen.
Pretty much.
But at least he's with The Rock, so you know it's something. At least he's not Vader and losing every match in 1998. So at least give him that one. So following this little segment there, Michael Cole had interviewed Stone Cold Steve Austin about what he's up against later on in the evening, and I'll get to the main event once we get to it because everybody's got their assignments in this one, and they mainly asked him, you know, who is anybody going to come out on your behalf, and he's like, no, I'm not going to beg anybody. If anybody comes out, they're all afraid of Vince McMahon. Well, we found out later on one man is not afraid of Vince McMahon. So during the next match, it was Steve Blackman versus Double J, Jeff Jarrett. And what's funny is
broke 6,000.
Go ahead.
Broke 6,000 guitars, never drew a dime. When Jeff Jarrett came out, you could hear a rat piss on cotton.
Amen to that. The only interesting part of this match was Al Snow trying to do Spanish commentary.
That was actually funny.
It was. I like.
That whole get up he had. And
the only thing I didn't like, and I believe it was at the King of the Ring where he fights Brian Christopher and Scott Taylor, and he fights versus Al Snow and Head. Remember they put the head and shoulders.
Yeah.
You know, that was the only corny thing to Al Snow's thing, but I liked everything he was doing here with the "Help Me" written on his head.
Yeah, it was funny. It was good.
It was good stuff, and they escorted him out of the thing. And I love he's trying to talk to the Spanish announce table, and it's just like, bro, they don't know what you're saying. They don't know what you're saying. I'm like, what are you? Oh, by the way, there's a match on.
Match that nobody cared about.
Seriously. I mean, it's the usual stuff. I mean, Lee gets up on the apron, grabs Blackman. Jarrett almost hits Lee. I mean, we've seen this before. Blackman used his nice little kendo stick thing that he brought to the ring. Yeah. Jarrett, he hits Jarrett, but the pin was unsuccessful. Blackman was on the top rope. Lee hits him with the stick, and Jarrett gets the pin. So once again, Steve Blackman's lost at the hands of Double J.
Pretty much.
And that was it. Nobody cared.
And by the way, I did like Steve Blackman. It's not his fault.
I did, yes.
He got stuck in this stupid feud with this guy. But
no, what made it worse is when they turned him heel, and then they turned him back babyface, and then people really didn't care.
Yeah.
But I mean, he lasted, through the Attitude Era, which that was pretty much his assignment. Most of these guys were just like, all right, get us through the next couple of years, and then maybe we'll have something for you.
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. So following.
By the way, this is when Jeff Jarrett starts saying, "Ain't I great?" No, you're not great.
No, you ain't great. Ain't I a piece of garbage? Yes, you are. God. I'm telling you, man.
He was a horseman. Do you believe? I don't want to get off on a damn. Jared, do you believe he was a member of the Horsemen? Although some people say he wasn't, he technically was a member of the Four Horsemen in WCW.
I think Flair needed a psychiatric evaluation on that.
I think he was a worse member than Paul Roma.
What about Mongo? Talk about somebody that doesn't belong. Oh, come on. The guy couldn't wrestle.
Yeah, but now, I bought him.
I don't want to speak ill of him right now because of what he's going through. I really don't want to do that.
Okay, but Mongo was the enforcer, and I bought him as...
Arn Anderson was the enforcer.
Oh, that's his nickname, but I'm saying Mongo was like the muscle, and I bought him in that role is what I'm saying.
Carrying a goddamn chihuahua.
Anyway. All right, moving on. Yeah, moving on.
Mongo. Yeah, you gotta be... But Jared being ridiculous.
He gave us Deborah McMichael, so show some respect.
All right, you got me there.
All right.
I hope he pulls through on what he's going through.
Yeah,
what he's battling, I wouldn't wish on anybody. So, God be with him. All right, moving on to the next thing. They showed what happened the previous night on Monday Night Raw. Once again, here we go. The next chapter of Mero and Sable.
The burial just continues of Mark Mero.
Oh my God! Now this was about her contract. That if she could find somebody to beat Mero at the next pay-per-view, she would let him. He would let her out of the contract.
It was a personal services contract.
Yeah, if he won, she was out of the WWE.
Yeah,
which we know lasted like 2 seconds. So Sable said that she wasn't going to have anybody fight her battles, so she was going to fight Mark Mero. Now this is where everybody bought his sincerity.
Right.
Me, I knew what was coming. We've seen this many times.
He did a good job, though, not for nothing. He did actually
selling
a good job selling it. Yeah, you gotta give him credit there.
Yeah, he grabs the mic. He's asking, what the hell happened to us?
Yeah.
We were on fire. We were great. And well,
you know what the sad thing is? Years later, they end up getting divorced. So watching this, I'm like, I kind of wonder, like, how much of that was a shoot?
Exactly.
And he's talking about the business tears couples apart.
I agree with that.
I think there was some truth to that, even though it wasn't until years later they separated. I think that maybe,
But I mean, it's good though to this day that they are on good terms.
Yeah,
they better be, or Brock is going to kill them.
Yeah. Did you ever hear that story?
Brock isn't above 5 and a 6-year-old.
Did you ever hear the story how he was flipping out on her? Like he's like, "Oh, who you cheating on me with or something?" And he found out it was Brock Lesnar, and then he was like, "Oh, okay, well, whatever."
He actually mentioned that not too long ago in an interview, and he was like, "Who is it?" She goes, "Brock Lesnar." Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's like,
"Have fun."
Okay.
God be with you. Yeah.
That sucks though. That sucks though. But anyway.
It does, but I mean, he looks back on it, and I mean now they're friends. They all get along. Because if you don't, Brock's gonna kill you.
Well, anyway.
Sorry,
but he did a good.
Don't yell at her if he's around.
He did. He did a good job, and he was like you said, he was cutting that promo, what happened to us and everything, and he's like, okay, I'll let you out of the contract, and he lays down.
Yep, and she goes for the cover, and the ref goes 1-2, and then he reverses it 1-2-3. Merrill wins.
That was hilarious. That was hilarious, and he starts jumping up and down.
I mean, we knew it was coming.
Yeah.
And then he's singing "Na na 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 goodbye."
And then they show her walking out of the arena later on, and the king is laughing, and no, I think Jerry was laughing. I think when they actually showed her like exiting the building, I think he was
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it reminded me of for whatever reason, I don't know why, and I'm dating myself. It reminded me of the end of the Incredible Hulk TV series when he's walking down they play the sad music and he's there hitchhiking. That's for whatever reason. This is what came to my mind. Anyway.
And when you mentioned that to me, the first thing I think of is a Family Guy rendition when they did that.
Can
you play the Incredible Hulk, walking away theme? Oh man, it was sad, but we know she's not going anywhere. Thank God. But hey, Mero actually won a match.
Yeah.
In any event, Michael Cole interviewed Sable after this, and she was distraught and stuff, and can't say I blame her. And then following that, Doc Hendricks had interviewed The Rock, who's wearing a neck brace. Slaughter had announced that he must defend the Intercontinental title or be stripped.
It's not fair, man. Slaughter was a scumbag.
Oh, Shawn Michaels.
The Rock was hurt, man.
The
Rock was
he was hurt.
He wasn't ducking.
Yeah, okay.
Best damn Intercontinental champ there ever was.
Are we going there right now? No. Seriously? Greatest Intercontinental in his mind.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying at that point.
But overall,
no, I'm not being serious. I'm just saying his catchphrase.
You're just quoting him.
Oh, yeah.
I was about to say there's a whole other topic not to get into right now.
Yeah, Santino. But anyway.
Oh my God. Okay. Let's get through this. Their next match was what the hell is this doing on there? And this killed the little guy's gimmick. A 2-on-3 handicap match. Bradshaw and Taka Michinoku, the light heavyweight champion, versus Kaientai. Dick Togo, Funaki, and Tio. I don't know what the other guys.
This is the match. This is the match where people got up and went to the concession stand.
This is the feud that killed Taka's career.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
And I never understood this. Although the only great gimmick that Kaientai ever did was with Val Venus.
That was
funny, choppy your pee-pee. That was hysterical.
Yeah, I mean that was funny.
It's like Kaientai. It was like Ahmed Johnson syndrome. You're gonna feud with them, then you're gonna join them, and then your career is over because nobody gives a damn about you. The funniest thing after this that Taka ever did was getting a concussion at the Royal Rumble in 2000.
Yeah.
When he got thrown out of the ring and smashed his head up against the thing. This was pointless.
This was hot garbage.
And Bradshaw, they mentioned that this is Gulliver's Travels because how did Bradshaw got in all of this? I mean, you got to be kidding. This is as bad as watching Kaientai fight the Oddities at SummerSlam. I mean, come on here. What are we doing? You just killed the kid's gimmick. You just made him light heavyweight champion, and you seriously now just destroyed the man.
No.
Or the boy at this point. with Yamaguchi-san and this nonsense storyline. I mean, anyway, Togo with a senton bomb on Taka and Kaientai actually wins. So Bradshaw gets a loss when he should have destroyed all three of them. At this point, though, they're trying to search, all right, what are we going to do with Bradshaw? Because the blackjack thing's not working out. So we got to do something with this man.
No, the new Blackjacks.
New Blackjacks with Wyndham. Another re-gimmicked Wyndham angle.
Oh, Jesus.
I did not like the fact that they killed Taka with this feud. There's a handful of people on this card whose careers were just like, what the hell are you doing to them in 1998? So following this, they showed Sable leaving the arena, the whole Incredible Hulk thing, as you had said, sorry, Sable, but we'll see you in a few weeks. So, in any event, our next match was for the Intercontinental Championship. The Rock defending the title against Farouk. Rock's music hits, nobody comes down. So, what happens is now it was announced again, nothing. So Slaughter comes down and tells The Rock that, either come down and defend the Intercontinental title or be stripped, because Farouk is waiting in the ring. They're doing the countdown. Rock finally comes into the ring, and then all of a sudden he's not hurt once he's beaten Farouk down.
He healed like Wolverine.
Yeah, and this was a 5-minute match.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, he finally comes down. Farouk grabs him, and the match starts. The crowd, is cheering when The Rock did the People's Elbow, which was fun. This is where it was all starting for The Rock. This is where
he's starting to get over. Yeah.
Even
as a heel. Yeah.
And they're doing everything that's possible to keep him heel. Because the one thing that worked was putting him with Vince.
Yeah.
Um,
Which I thought was a mistake, but we'll cover that later on.
It is. The ref had counted 3, but saw that the Rock's foot was on the rope and told Farouk. Now, this is when Farouk was going for the 3. The referee actually counted it.
Mm-hmm.
Farouk is celebrating, but the ref is like, "Oh, wait a minute, no, his foot was on the rope. I'm sorry." Which that to me is stupid if you're going to do this in this match. And then The Rock rolled Farouk up to get with his feet on the rope and gets the pin. So The Rock remains the Intercontinental Champion.
Sorry.
Afterwards, Farouk gave The Rock 2 pile drivers before the Nation.
What a sore loser! Down. What a sore loser!
No, I liked it. What was weird was who came down to help Farouk. It was DX. Which came down and helped him.
Which made no sense, but
it
leads to the DX and
it leads to the Nation and DX fighting each other, because their feud starts pretty much this night, because they will have a match. Mm. So our next match now is like this is going to happen. Mask versus mask. It's Vader versus Kane. Vader. Like, we're going to see Kane get demasked. Really, come on, unmasked rather.
And the end of Vader is near. What do
you mean? We're already on that process.
Yeah,
this is the end of Vader tour.
You already knew. I'm like, Vader, just leave this guy alone, man. Just leave this guy alone.
But this is just showing what I said in the last In Your House. Kane can't beat The Undertaker, so I'll dominate the rest of the roster.
Yeah.
Because we've gone from...
He already
He fought Vader to Undertaker back to Vader.
Back to Vader. Vader already put him over. I'm like, why do you keep embarrassing Vader? But I guess they had to do something with him because he was still in the contract. I think later on this year, towards the end of the year, he negotiates a buyout or something like that to get him out of there to leave.
Yeah, it was after his loss to Bradshaw on the pay-per-view. Then it's like, all right, I'm done.
So we're back.
What are you going to make me do? Lose to Taka next?
Right. Yeah. So they're back fighting each other. This stems from Vader coming out of the last pay-per-view to attack Kane during the Inferno match.
And a good part of this match was the return of Earl Hebner back to the ring. This was his first assignment back since he was out. Vader had grabbed a wrench during this match, used it on Kane. Little retribution.
Retribution for,
it was good to see. Unfortunately, it didn't work. He went for his moonsault and missed. Could have saw that one coming. Kane pops up, tombstone, and gets the pin.
And then
Kane wins. They take the mask. Paul Bearer's wearing it. Now the highlight.
We had seen Vader without a mask.
We've always seen Vader without the mask. He's even taking it off himself.
Right.
In WCW and here. Right. So it's like it was no surprise what he looked like. And Lawler's trying to play it off like, oh, I bet he's hideous under that strap. After the match, Michael Cole interviewed Vader, and Vader's like, and I quote, "Maybe Vader time is over. I'm just a fat piece of shit."
That was sad.
It was.
He was winded too. He was out of breath. And you got to think about some of these promos, if they were real or not. Was that a shoot when he said that I'm a fat piece of shit? Is that how he really felt at that time, considering he wasn't the same Vader anymore?
I don't know.
I felt bad, man.
This was hard for me to watch.
Yeah, I remember Vader time. I was a Vader fan. I remember Vader time. When
he showed up in WWE at the Rumble, I was like, "Oh man!"
I was fired up. Yeah.
Think of the matches you can have.
Little did we know. It was after he beat up Gorilla Monsoon. I guess it was kind of all downhill from that point.
Yep, especially when he had to fight with the Click and then everything else, and yeah.
Anyway,
so following this match now, Michael Cole and I didn't like this segment. I really didn't. This is the time where if I was a fan, I'd have jumped in the ring and knocked Lawler out. They acknowledged Mad Dog Vachon and the Crusher.
The uncle of Luna Vachon.
Yep. Her father is Butcher Vachon. But Mad Dog is being announced. And I love when Mad Dog said, he goes, "I'm here, and I like the man running things despite the fact I'm not happy with the current product." I don't like what you're doing right here. But by the way, during this segment, please take my leg off, and stuff. And once Lawler got in the ring and started doing all this, I didn't like
Crusher. You forgot about Crusher, man.
Oh, he goes after Crusher. Crusher knocks him.
I love how Crusher never took the cigar out of his mouth the whole time.
Oh, that's awesome.
He kept the cigar in there. And he
I wonder if he had. Now, I've never seen any of his matches, but I wonder if he wrestled with that cigar in his mouth too.
I don't know much about him, but he was throwing the slowest, like.
He's 65 years old.
I know, but I'm just saying. And Jerry had to sell it. It kind of looked bad, but anyway,
it did, especially the fact that he's talking down to the two of them, and then he goes and grabs his leg. I mean, acknowledge him and move on, but just don't do a segment that just. I'm done with it. I didn't like it personally.
Didn't that happen? But didn't that happen with Mad Dog on another?
Diesel used his leg.
It was Diesel, right? Yeah.
Yes, Diesel took the leg against Shawn Michaels.
There you go.
Even then, I didn't like it.
No, but I'm like, why are they doing this? We saw this already.
Exactly. Why are we doing it again?
I didn't understand the point. I didn't understand. Where does this even go? Does this go? I don't remember. This is so long ago.
This was just a segment. No.
So this is a segment.
They were just honoring them because they were from in Milwaukee, and that's where they.
So you just wanted to have a segment and then get a little heat on Jerry that goes nowhere.
Yeah, like Jerry doesn't have enough heat on him.
All right, anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So our next match was the WWE Tag Team Champions, the New Age Outlaws, and the European Champion Triple H versus D'Lo Brown, and Owen Hart, a new member of the Nation, which doesn't make any sense to me because they're just downward spiraling his career as we go. So, but this match itself was actually pretty good. What's funny is Ross had said in the Triple H Owen rivalry, Owen had not measured up. Wow, you're going to say this about him during the match?
They're burying because now he's a heel. Now we got to bury him.
And they're saying he didn't measure up. Well, how do you want him to measure up when every match he has with the guy is ending with some type of controversy of a run-in or interference by China?
They were always clowning him, calling the Nugget and everything. It was just
okay. I did like that segment when they made fun of the Nation. I did like that. That was fun.
Yeah, but they stole that from NWO, and NWO made fun of the Four Horsemen.
I don't know. My spot, your spot, liver spot, any spot.
I mean, it was funny, but they ripped it off. But I like how JR calls the Famouser the Rocker Dropper. I guess it wasn't the Famouser yet.
No, it wasn't. It was still that. Unfortunately, I call it the Famouser.
Yeah.
Ross had also mentioned that X-Pac will compete within the next 30 days. Yeah. Unfortunately, he still has that non-compete clause. Billy Gunn and Triple H spike pile drive D'Lo into the title belt. Triple H went for the cover. Owen came in, elbowed Triple H, then pedigreed him on the belt, and Owen got the pin on Triple H. Yeah. There we go. The man got some retribution.
They give him the pin when it doesn't mean anything. When no titles are on the line.
And then a six-man tag.
And you're like, oh, yeah, you can go over now.
I mean, going forward, he will be the tag team champion again. But it's not the same. They dropped the ball with him. I've said this. He could have been a good main eventer in 1998, feuding with DX, even if he is the heel. But no, let's just keep embarrassing him. And let's say, well, one of the announcers, he's not measuring up.
Right, yeah.
And anyway, following this match, they showed what led up to the main event between Austin and Dude Love. Now with the Vince being the special guest referee, Doc Hendricks interviewed Vince McMahon, and he said, and I quote, "The match ends by my hands only." Now, this is where the stack is. The deck is stacked against Stone Cold Steve Austin. Here's what I mean. You got Vince McMahon as the special guest referee. Pat Patterson is the special guest ring announcer. Gerald Briscoe is the guest timekeeper. They're all praising themselves on the microphone.
That thing it was funny though, but because it dragged on.
And I love how Ross was talking crap about it the whole time too. Yeah.
That was funny. It was actually well done. The whole Briscoe brother.
He mentions the phone number and the address.
Yeah, and they were like just praising them. They talk about how what's his name? Patterson was the first Intercontinental Champion. He won in
An imaginary tournament, by the way.
But that never happened in Rio de Janeiro.
No, they just screwed Ted DiBiase out of the North American title.
Yeah, it never happened.
They just took his title and renamed it, and Patterson became the Intercontinental Champion. That's how that happened in a nutshell, people. DiBiase was screwed.
JR says something. I think JR says like cough, cough or something like that. Like he insinuates that it never happened.
Yeah, it never did.
Yeah, so
never happened.
But it was funny either way.
Never happened.
Either way, those intros were hilarious. And then when they introduced Vince, like, oh my god.
Now, what's funny is just before the match, the Undertaker came down. Now he's going to be the special enforcer during this match. Well, which I actually loved. I liked it, and not to skip over the match because we are going to cover the match. But at the end, when Austin and Taker had that stare down,
right.
You could tell it's a little bit of mutual respect, and I'll be seeing you soon.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, and I thought that was cool.
That was good.
During this match, it's funny. Dude Love's fake teeth come out.
His hair dyed. His hair was dyed a little bit, like highlights or something, trying to look different.
No wonder why he showed up as Mankind after this was over.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Austin actually threw the teeth to the crowd too, which is funny.
Austin just beat the hell out of him, man. He just beat the hell out of him.
Did you hear what Lawler said during this? And Ross told him to shut up. He said, "Dude lost his smile."
Oh.
He's like, "All right, Lawler, shut up." Because I'm like, okay, that's a crack at Sean. Because they did mention that Sean
he's watching
it from home in San Antonio. Get well soon. We'll see you back in the ring.
No.
Yeah, not until SummerSlam 02, but
another 4 years. But Austin had some good spots when he clotheslined him outside the over the railing. He hit hard on that one.
The cars, he's beating the hell out of him on the cars. I mean,
that was great stuff. It was great. It was well done.
It was. When Dude Love had the mandible claw on Austin, and Austin had threw him into the ropes, he gets his head caught, and then they mentioned that's how he lost an ear in Germany years back. I love how he throws the Dude Love into Gerald Briscoe. Let's take this piece of trash out of here. Fighting on the cars was great. The best is that they're beating the crap out of each other, and Vince is doing all this, and Taker's just like standing there, and I'm like,
just watching everything.
Get involved.
Yeah, you're just waiting for him to get involved.
Little do we know it is coming. Yeah. Now Austin had gotten busted open during the segment with fighting on the cars. I love how Patterson gets involved at one point. Patterson gives Dude Love a chair and he used it on Austin. Austin went for the cover. Now Vince wouldn't count it.
Yeah.
So what does he do? He stuns him. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Love grabbed the chair and tried to hit Austin, but instead hit Vince with it. So Vince gets hit with the chair. He's knocked out now. Austin stuns Dude Love. Another referee comes down to count it. Patterson hit the referee. Love has the mandible claw on Austin and went for the pin. Patterson tries counting it, but now here comes the Undertaker. That's it. I've had enough.
Yep.
Taker stopped him and chokeslammed him through the first announce table.
Oh, that was great. I was laughing.
And in case you missed it, Briscoe gets chokeslammed through the second Spanish announce table. So I'm loving that one. Austin stunned Love. Now realize there's still no referee. Vince is out. But what did Vince say earlier in the night? This match ends by my hand only. So Austin's like, okay. Drags Vince over. Puts his hand up. 1, 2, 3. Austin's now successfully defended his title against Dude Love. And like I said earlier, as Taker's walking out, not only did you get the mutual respect look from each individual, but it's the also I'll see you soon. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, the next title defense for Austin would actually be King of the Ring, the next pay-per-view, and it'll be against Kane. So that was actually a really good one.
Yeah. So this was good.
Unfortunately, Kane was only champ for like 24 hours.
It was a good idea.
This really was.
Yeah, it was funny because during this match is when JR calls Dude Love Mankind. This was by accident. But
we'll be seeing him soon.
Yeah. He's coming back. But this was entertaining. This pay-per-view was good. The last match was good too. Good storytelling.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Again, Austin McMahon for the next 2+ years is just gonna be great to talk about in the matches and stuff. I mean, it's Vince McMahon came up with something golden here and ran with it, and it helped save his company.
Well, I don't know if it was totally Vince. I think we got to give other people credit too. Even though
I'm not giving Vince Russo an ounce of credit because Vince Russo thinks he's the mastermind behind this all. Yet he had Vince over his shoulder making sure.
Yeah,
with the final say.
No, Vince was the filter. Vince was definitely the filter. But at the same time, it's like one of those things where Russo would come up with 10 ideas and 9 of them were bad, and then Vince would pick the one that's good. And then, but either way, and it worked out. But either way, we got to give him credit for just some of this stuff. It worked.
Okay.
Well, so, all right. Well. You guys let us know what you think. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys soon.
Take care.